Well, first, Jenna, let me welcome in Twan. Twan, you're just joining us, so I just want to let you know what's going on. Today is not a show. It's a class. All right, I'm teaching, and like the other students, Nick and Wilds, just listen closely, take notes, and nod. Yes, okay, it's a class today. And here's the first lesson. Yes, Steph Curry is top 10. All right, how do we define best or better? Well, in a game where everybody's playing different positions, or, guys play different positions, have different skill sets, have different roles, it's not a checklist of skills. If it was a checklist of skills, Aaron Rodgers would be better than Tom Brady. David Robinson would be better than Shaq. A checklist of skills. It's not that. It's not who's going to win a game of one-on-one. We had Tracy McGrady on my radio show, The Odd Couple, Monday through Friday, 7 to 10 p.m. Last week, he said LeBron's the best player of this era, but he thinks there are several guys that could beat LeBron in one-on-one. So it's not a game of one-on-one. Who would Kyrie beat Steph so he's better? No. It is about, obviously, the stats, the accomplishments, but also the impact. The impact that you have on winning. And no one can deny that Steph Curry has had a tremendous impact on winning. In addition to changing the game, the best shooter ever. I think one of the top 5 ball handlers ever. I think most people would say at least top 10 ball handlers ever. Can finish. Don't tell me the defense. I know he's not a great defender. Don't tell me it's a weakness because his team is always in the top 5 or top 10 defensively. Top 5 when they win championships for the most part. So he can't be that big of a weakness on defense. All right. And he's the only small player that has ever been the centerpiece of a full dynasty in the history of basketball. The only one. Isaiah Thomas was a centerpiece of a kind of a mini dynasty with the back-to-back championships with Detroit, but Steph is a full dynasty. He's playing in the LeBron James era, and he's got 4 rings. We can run off a list of a host of superstars that never won rings because of Michael Jordan. And Steph's in the LeBron era. And if you want to throw in KD too, the KD era, and he's got 4 rings. He's beaten LeBron and KD more than they've beaten him. So yes, he's in the top 10, and here's my list. And bring on all the guys that aren't in there, and I'll answer why. So I got obviously Jordan, LeBron, Kareem, Magic, top 4. Duncan, gotta give him love. Kobe, Bird. I almost moved Steph ahead of Bird. It's very close. Obviously, Steph might do some more things, so we'll see. And then Shaq. And I had to give Bill Russell the love because of the 11 rings.
You think?
I had to do it for 11.
Yeah,
so,
I would agree.
He doesn't have the great individual numbers, but there it is, Nick. Class is in session.
Okay.
What are your questions?
I had no questions. I have some complaints, though. Listen, Steph Curry going into this season, and you know that on my podcast, I've been ranking the 50 greatest players the last 50 years. Going into this season, I had Steph behind Moses. He passed Moses a few months ago. Going into this series, I had Steph behind Dr. J. He passed Dr. J officially last night. But for your top 10, or to not include Akeem Olajuwon and Wilt Chamberlain, it's just unfathomable. I've never seen a top 10 without Wilt. And I don't want to do a ton on Wilt, but I do want to say this. The only knock on Wilt is he didn't win enough rings. Wilt lost 4 Game 7s to Bill Russell by a combined 9 points. 1, 2, 2, and 4. And in those Game 7s, all Wilt did was average 25 points, 27 rebounds, 4 assists. And Russell had 8 Hall of Famers on his team. So not having Wilt on there is crazy to me. And Akeem Olajuwon, who is the greatest defensive player, arguably ever, inarguably of the last 50 years, and on the offensive end, all he did over a 10-year stretch in the playoffs was average 30 a game to go along with 12 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and 3 blocks. Seems like a guy who had a lot of impact. You talk about guys not getting rings. When Jordan retired, hold on. When Jordan retired, Antoine, the following players didn't have rings: Stockton, Malone, Barkley, Clyde, Ewing, Robinson, Shaq. Not only did Akeem win both of those rings, he beat all of those guys in the playoffs. He beat Barkley twice, Stockton and Malone twice, beat Clyde, then Clyde joined him, beat Robinson, beat Shaq, beat Ewing. So one of the reasons those guys don't have rings is not just because Akeem won the rings, Akeem beat them. So I think Steph, listen, make a top 10, a top 12, Antoine, like club superstar. 12 people on a basketball team, 12 people in the Pantheon. Steph is 12. And I'm not even going to get into having Steph above Shaq and Russell. There's not time for it. But Akeem, Wilt not being in the top 10 is some wild and wacky stuff.
Well, let me first start off with saying congratulations to the Golden State Warriors. And congratulations, Chris. I have to give you credit. You called it. So congratulations. I can admit when I'm wrong. I can take it. Congratulations. Now let's get to your top 10 list.
Thank you, bro.
I'm not going to be like Nick and have to argue and fight with you. I'm going to make it real simple for you. It is no way you got a top 10 without Wilt Chamberlain being on the list. So that's what the difference is. I like your other picks, actually. But Steph Curry's not in the top 10. Steph Curry's not in the top 10, and definitely not over Wilt Chamberlain. So that's simple. We've already dissected your list. I like it. I like nine picks you got on there. I don't necessarily like that order, but I like the 9 guys you got on there. And Steph Curry should not be on there before Wilt Chamberlain. That's a no-no. Now, one thing I do. Now, I'm not even getting into the numbers and his ranking of numbers. We're not going to even get into that. Now, the part that I do want to congratulate Steph on, the elite club that he's in, is the 4 NBA titles or 2 MVPs. Now, he's definitely that top 7 group that he's in right there with, LeBron, Duncan, Magic, Kareem, Russell, and himself. That's an elite group. I want to congratulate Steph on that and being a part of that. But I think sometimes we get a little carried away because you can't put Steph in the top 10 yet because 2 of those titles, like arguably the 2nd or 3rd best player in the world, joined this team and was MVP of those finals to ensure 2 of those titles, because they don't win those 2 titles without KD. And I think, Chris, you keep forgetting that KD is a huge, huge part of why Steph has 4 titles. Huh? Okay. It's a reason why. It's a reason why Steph, Clay, and Draymond got on the plane and did all this lobbying to get KD. They wouldn't get past LeBron no more. They knew that. They know they needed KD to be able to get past that. And that's going to always be that question mark when you talk about Steph. But he's not in the top 10. Unbelievable player, unbelievable finals performance. He's an elite group with those 7 guys. But don't ever put a top 10 list together without putting Wilt Chamberlain, Chris. I'm going to lose a lot of respect for you if you continue to do that. Don't ever do that again.
I will explain. Okay. When I get my turn, I will explain. Go ahead, Wilds.
You've been explaining. You're the president of Steph Curry Club. I don't want to hear no more excuses. You just gave a whole speech.
He's got 4 rings, Antoine.
You just gave a whole speech.
He's got 4 rings. What do you, Nick? The argument for Wilt Chamberlain is he lost a bunch of games to Russell.
I think Wilds is.
I do. It's like
thank you, Wilds.
If you win the championship, that's what matters. I'm going to spin it forward 1. We're up against the break, Broussard, so make this a quick answer. If Steph gets another one, how high can he move up? What is Steph's ceiling if he gets another one? We're up against the break. It's a hard question.
I would definitely move him ahead of Bird because I almost did it today. But it's still the other ones. Gosh, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to get up past Kobe and Duncan.
I want to know where Wilt is. Do you got Wilt ahead of Dirk at least? Like,
do I have time to say? Oh yeah, Dirk. You got Dirk way too high, Nick. You know that.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.